When the world all around us bends and breaks, oceans rise and mountains quake, when all the world has said is fade away. There's a light on the horizon shining through, an unbreakable promise we're holding to. There's a strong, steady hand that will never let go, never let go. We're never forsaken. He is faithful through all of our days. Never forsaken. There is hope that forever remains, and it cannot be broken, stolen or taken. We're never forsaken. No, yeah. So you don't have to worry what tomorrow brings, for we know He is sovereign in everything. We can rest in this peace that will always endure. Of this I'm sure, we're never forsaken. He is faithful through all of our days. Never forsaken. There is hope that forever remains, and it cannot be broken, stolen or taken. We're never forsaken. Oh, how marvelous your love. We're never forsaken. Oh, you call us your daughters and sons. Oh, never forsaken, never forsaken. You're never forsaken. He is faithful through all of our days. Never forsaken. There is hope that forever remains, and it cannot be broken, stolen or taken. We're never forsaken. Oh, we're never forsaken, never forsaken. Oh, yeah.
Well, welcome to Never Forsaken, the online concert. We've got tons of people watching online right now, charlesbillingsley.com, but we've got great people here in the room, here live in Lynchburg, so thank you so much for being with us for this special event. One thing I do want to say, if you have any questions for Charles to answer, and I'm not going to tell you what to ask. You can ask anything, right?
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Oh, boy.
I may not answer, but you can ask whatever you want.
Ask whatever you want. Ask whatever you want, but make sure that you tweet right now on your phones and use the hashtag #NeverForsaken. And if we use your question throughout tonight, and we'll take a couple of them at least, we'll give you a free CD. Not me, he will. It's not my CDs, it's his. But again, thanks so much. This is a very special concert. I want you to kind of introduce everybody up here.
Okay, well, let's see. We got Adam Lancaster over here on the piano, and he plays... Of course, for those of you who are around Thomas Road, and those of you who've seen us on the road and all around the country, he's been traveling with me now for over 10 years, since he was 13 or something like that. Wow. But he's aged a lot in the last 10 years traveling with me. But we've had a great time, and goodness, you've done probably almost 1,000 concerts with me. around the country, and we just have a great time. And then over here is Keith Everett Smith. He's actually the fellow that produced this project and is one of our co-writers, and he's a tremendous musician as well. And what I love about traveling with these guys is both these guys can play anything. I mean, you pick the instrument, they play it. And so we're pretty flexible with just two of them up here, but we're missing a couple of the guys in our band. But
yeah, usually you have a bigger band.
Yeah, we usually carry 5 guys with us, and we'll meet them tomorrow in Orlando when we start these concerts.
This room really couldn't hold that many people.
No, I don't think so. It'd be pretty loud, too.
It's great in here, though. And again, we want to thank, there's a lot of people here that your
These
friends.
are all my friends. In fact, when I walked out, I got nervous and forgot the whole song because I was, I don't like looking at people I know. It's a little embarrassing. And I'm afraid I'm going to spit on the front row and so just hold some
I guess on Sundays you have a little more distance.
Yeah, I do. And it's a little awkward to see people looking them right in the eyes. I mean, this is scary. So I hope I don't mess these things up.
Well, let's talk real quick about Never Forsaken. This
Okay.
is your first studio album in how many years?
Well, it's my first studio record of original songs in 8 years. The last one we did was a project called Secret Conversation, and it was a great record, a lot of good songs, but it's been a while since we actually sat down and just wrote a bunch of songs and then went into the studio and did it. 2 years ago, we put out a project called God of the Ages,
Right.
which we did here, and a lot of you folks were there that night, and it's a powerful project, but it's a live project, so it's a totally different approach.
So
This
why
was studio.
I mean, I've looked at some of your schedule, and it doesn't look like you get a lot of free time on your hands. You're traveling, you're doing this, you're doing that. Why now decide to do this project?
Well, I think, I always try to wait to do a project when I feel like I've got this passion inside of me to do something like this, and it started with John 3:16, and we'll do that song in just a little bit, but it was really spurred on with my friends who are involved heavily with a ministry called Cause Life and World Help, and we started the project, but then I went down to Guatemala, and the Lord just used that trip to break me, and so I the combination of all those events, it just sort of set me up in the right spot to sit down and write some of these songs and do this record.
Your first radio release off this is Know Me Without You.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I'm, of course, affiliated with Liberty University, and I'm the artist in residence there, which I'm not really sure what that means, but that's what I do. And so I run around and I represent Liberty everywhere. and I just talk about Liberty like it's the greatest place on earth, because I think it is. And one of our students, our former students, who's in a group called Anthem Lights now, he wrote this song, and as we were looking for songs for the project, Keith contacted Caleb Grimm, who is a former student here, part of one of our campus ministry teams here called Crimson Flood. Well, they all left here, graduated, and went and formed a group called Yellow Cavalier, which was now called Anthem Lights. It's confusing, I know, but they're out on the road nowadays, and they've got a great project out. And Caleb sent this song to us, and of all the demos we were listening to, from all the songs that were being pitched to us, this was my favorite. I just thought it had a great hook, a great sound. I thought it was a great radio song, and so we actually released it first to radio, and it's a lot of fun to sing, too.
Before you're about ready to sing, before you do, didn't you think that this would be a cool song years ago?
Oh yeah, I did. I was watching the Grammys, and this was a long time ago when Toni Braxton was winning Grammys, And so she wins this Grammy award, and she looks at her producers out in the auditorium. She goes, "I just want you to know there's no me without you." And when she said that, I wrote that down. I thought, now that's a great song hook. But then I couldn't think of anything to write. So I've been thinking about that song idea forever, and then Caleb Grimm comes along with a song called "Know Me Without You," and I was like, man, somebody finally wrote a song with that great title. And I think that's why I liked it to begin with. But then when I heard it, it was way better than I could have ever written it anyway.
Why don't you sing it?
All right, okay, let's do it. Why do I hide? Why do I run away? Deep down inside, I know I need your grace. Apart from you, I don't know who I am. please take me in. I've tried it alone, living life on my own. There's nothing I can do. There's no me without you. No me without you. So I'm calling now, God, I need you now. I can see it's true. There's no me without you. No me without you. Yeah. So here I am, offering all of me in your hands. I know that I'm complete. You gave your life to heal this heart of mine. Yeah. So I realize I've tried it alone, living life on my own. There's nothing I can do. There's no me without you. No me without you. Yeah. So I'm calling now, God, I need you now. I can see it's true. There's no me without you. No me without you. Yeah. I finally see the light, revealing all you are. I'm giving in this time. I've tried it alone, living life on my own. There's nothing I can do. There's no me without you. No me without you. Yeah, I've tried it alone, living life on my own. There's nothing I can do. There's no me without you. No me without you. Oh, yeah. So I'm calling now, God, I need you now. I can see it's true. There's no me without you. No me without you. Yeah. Ooh, no me. No me without you, Lord. No me without you. Oh. So I'm calling now, God, I need you now. I can see it's true. There's no me without you. Oh, there's no me without you. Ooh, yeah. Without you, Lord. Ooh, yeah. Without you, Lord. Ooh, yeah. Without you, Lord. Yeah. It's a simple song, but it's a lot of fun to sing.
I love that song.
Great truth.
I'm going to pull up a stool because we've got some audience questions. I've been writing furiously.
I'll pull one up too.
Please do. All right. And if you're here live, right here, please tweet a question as well. This is for you too, because we want to get as many questions as we can. And I'm going to start off with a real easy one.
Okay.
Okay, this is from Jesse Dean Rivero.
I like easy.
Jesse says, what kind of hair products do you use?
I love that. I don't know. My wife buys me all this stuff. That's why I'm wearing this shirt tonight. She said, you need color. You need something that'll pop because it's drab up there. That's what she told me. So that's why I'm wearing this sissy shirt right here. But you know, that's actually my addition. But anyway, I don't even know. I think it's called, it starts with a, oh, Michelle, you would know. What is it? It starts with an S. Salmon? What? Sebastian.
Okay, there you go, Jesse.
He must be a good person.
Yeah. Let's see. Brad Rep. That's his Twitter name there. Who is one person that you haven't worked with yet, or maybe you have, but that you'd love to work with musically?
Oh, David Foster. No doubt. He's the man.
All right.
David, if you're out there. Oh yeah, I mean, good grief. He is the
Yeah.
What is he, Adam? What is he? Yeah, give me a word. The man, the legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Greatest producers of all time, for sure.
Thank you.
There you go.
That's what I meant.
All right.
That's what he is.
He is
He is.
Fill in the
That's
blank.
what that means.
He is.
Wow. You guys love David Foster. All right, let's move on. J.C. Ballou just wanted Justin Kinsel to know that she saw him in the front row.
Yes, he is. Right here in the front row. Got a new project out. He has a brand new project out. He's the man. You should go on. We're going to Twitter him tonight and get his project, too. He's an awesome guy.
J. Kevin Foster, what made you decide to do Another Day?
Oh, Another Day in Paradise?
Yes.
Well, that's a song on the record. Yeah. And do they call it records anymore? I don't even know.
No.
Project.
It works.
Whatever.
It works.
Anyway, we did that
Cassette.
because it's about humanitarianism, and a lot of this record is about that. We're going to get to that in a few minutes, but that song has always been a song that I loved musically because I'm a big Phil Collins fan anyway. But I've always loved the lyrics of that song, and so when we started talking about a humanitarianistic, is that a word?
Sure is.
Project that's about giving back and living your life for others. That song came to mind, and we had so much fun remaking it. We've decided that from now on, every project we do,
Gets
we're going to
covered.
do a Phil Collins remake. Just In the Air Tonight's coming. I'm just kidding. We won't do that, but we're going to do. You can't. There's some songs you can't redo because they're just too good the way they are.
I wanted to ask you, though, did you have second thoughts about putting a secular song on a project of yours?
Not really. The reason is because I want to reach a broader audience anyway. And as a worship leader in a church, I would trust that my church family wouldn't question my motives on this thing. But I also want to have an opportunity to use some material on a platform that's not just inside the walls of my church building. And in order to do that, I need some material that communicates a great truth, but is also palatable to the ears of those who don't know the Lord, so that I can infiltrate them with the truth of the gospel. And that is one song that does just that. It is all about us giving our lives for others. And that's where it starts. And then, of course, I'd love to nail them between the eyes with the gospel, but that takes a while. It takes a little while to do that.
And I like that. Like, my kids listen to it, and for them, it's fresh. They have never heard that song before in their life, and so they hear you sing it for the first time, and so it has different meaning than maybe it had for me when I first heard it.
Oh, yeah. In fact, a lot of people haven't even paid attention to the lyrics of that song, but it's great and it's powerful, and plus musically, I mean, it doesn't get much better than Phil Collins. Of course, I'm a big '80s fan anyway. Adam and I both, which ironically, Adam was not born in the '80s, but we're both big '80s music fans.
You're either making me really old or really young, man.
and so because of that, I love anything from that era, and when you bring it back in 2012. The students at Liberty and everybody else are like, dude, that's a cool song. Where'd you find that? Well, it happened to just sell several million records in the 80s.
Now, we're not going to sing that tonight, so guess what? If you want to hear that one and you don't have it, you can go to iTunes or Amazon.com. It's there now. CharlesBillingsley.com. Go to the store. He can't say that. I can. So you could do that now, okay? Go now, iTunes. Well, not now. Wait till after this is over. But iTunes or Amazon.com. Let's talk about the next song that you're going to sing, which is really interesting because it's hitting you right now as you sit here tonight.
Yes, it is, because Saturday we were at our little boys' basketball game, and they won. And it's a playoff game, so if you win, you keep going on. And so their next playoff game was as we speak. And so I was really torn because, I'm a dad and I'm not in town sometimes to see these games. And so, I was really it was killing me that I wasn't able to be at his game. But I've had people texting me.
Yeah, I was wondering if you wanted to check your phone.
Oh, they already finished. In fact, they'll be here in just a little bit. But they won 27-23. So we're moving on into the third round of the playoffs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's tough because it's just one more night where you're just in this tension of trying to balance your life between what you have to do for your living and what you do for a job, and living a life of an artist or a mechanic or a minister or whatever you do, and being a dad or a mom or just a dedicated parent. And finding the balance there has always been a great difficulty for me. And so when we started working on this project, one of the things I wanted to do was I said, look, I got a little boy who's 10 and a little boy who's 12 now. My 10-year-old sitting right here, his name is Cooper. And the Caleb is the 12-year-old, and they're growing up on me, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to blink and they're going to be gone. And I feel like I've already blinked and they're already these, big kids. And so I told the guys, Adam and Keith and one other fellow that writes with us, Tony Wood, I said, I want to write a song to my kids before they're gone. And before I'm gone, for that matter. So we sat down and we began to just explore this a little bit. And, it's funny. I've got this little boy, Cooper, here on the front. He's totally opposite of his big brother. His big brother is quite a bit bigger. I mean, they're 14 months apart. He's twice the size as Cooper. I call him Thunder and Lightning. And so Caleb's the accountant, very organized. This morning we were at the radio station and he said, oh, you're doing your homework that you should have done last night? And Caleb was like, no, this is due next Monday. I mean, he's like on it. And then, of course, there's the Coopster. And frequently I have to remind him to put clothes on to go to school. I mean, it's just it's a whole different animal there. But Cooper is not going to die of stress. He's a very laid-back individual, loves to have fun. But out of the two, Caleb's got all the answers, and Cooper's got all the questions. Yeah. In fact, if you follow our Facebook or Twitter,
yes,
every Wednesday we post Cooper questions.
Yeah. You got a couple?
Oh man, I got hundreds.
How many?
But just the other day, he said, "Hey, Mom, when were the good old days?" That's a good one. and of course, I don't have an answer for any of these questions. The other day, we're driving down the road, and out of nowhere, he says, "Hey, Mom, have you ever touched a mule's nose?" And she said, "Well, no." He goes, "Well, do you want to?" But I mean, everything from that to if it was 2,431 degrees outside for 1/4 of a second, would you die?
Great question.
See, you don't know the answer.
I have
to
no
these
idea.
things.
I never thought of that.
I'm telling you. Can you say a sentence that ends with the word "the"?
Well,
try it. It's impossible. I'm telling you. I don't know where he comes
really
up with
tried?
this stuff. Yes. Yeah. The other day we're sitting at dinner. He goes, "Hey, Dad, if you were a picture, where would you want to hang?"
Hey. That sounds like a Barbara Walters question, really.
Would you rather be distracted your whole life or nervous? Hello. See what I'm
Look
saying?
at people going,
I know. People are like,
thinking
I'm going to
about
write that down. I don't
I'm
know.
not. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say anything. I think you've chosen.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just distracted.
He's not nervous. He's not nervous. But I like this because you're writing them down, you're tweeting them, and you can remember this so that, and I'm getting back to the song because really, you're not blinking. You're keeping your eyes wide open.
Well, I'm trying. It's hard, I've had a lot of moments in my life that I wish I could take back. You get involved in one thing, and if you're not careful, you're so involved in that thing that you've missed this thing. And, and I've made a lot of mistakes in my life choosing what was good over what was best. And it all comes down to how you spend your time. And, that's the one thing you just can't get back. And I've spent a lot of time on the road, sometimes that I should have been, and other times that I probably shouldn't have taken this particular date because I really need to be at home.
Right.
And so that's really what this song is about.
And this song is something that so many people can relate to in their life because
I
we're
think
all
so.
deciding, we're making these choices. Really, what are we going to cheat? Are we going to cheat work today? Are we going to cheat, you're cheating something. There was a message about that I heard one time. And I love this song. If you would go on and do this, Baby, I Blinked.
Yeah. Well, when we were writing this song, we were talking about how a song like this can be so sappy and sad that I wouldn't be able to get through it, So we didn't want to make it overly sad because I said there's no way I can get through a song like this. So what we did is we kind of made it a little mid-tempo, kind of a feel-good song, but at the same time it reminds us all of what's most important. We were driving down the road, and my little boy asked me out of the blue, like he always does. He said, "Hey, Dad, if you could rewind any moment of your life, what would it be?" Pretty poignant question for a 10-year-old. And when he asked me that, I knew the answer right away. I would rewind all those moments that I missed with these boys. I wasn't there when they took their first steps. I wasn't there when they said their first words. Both of them accepted the Lord when I was living out in San Diego. I wasn't there for either one of those moments. I just missed it. So we wrote these words, and I want to give them to you. Standing here, I look at you. Standing here, I look at you. It's like the air has left the room. This moment came far too soon. I think back to that morning I stood with tears in my eyes. I first saw your face, first heard you cry. It's all a blur, I don't know how. We got from then to now, baby, I blinked, I only blinked. I'm the one who years ago said that he would drink in all the moments and all the memories. Oh, how fast it went past. It leaves me to think that maybe, just maybe, baby, I blinked. Yeah. I look back on 1,000 scenes. Oh, I'm blessed beyond my wildest dreams. You've brought me joy in all good things. And who you are, it makes me proud. I can't help but think, when I see you now, baby, I blinked. Oh, I only blinked. I'm the one who years ago said that he would drink in all the moments, oh, and all those memories. Oh, how fast it went past. It leaves me to think that maybe, oh, just maybe, baby, I blinked. Oh, oh yes, I blinked, yeah. Sometimes it breaks my heart. I wish that I could find a way to slow it down. I wish I could turn back time. Oh, but I blinked. Baby, I blinked. Baby, I blinked. I only blinked. I'm the one who years ago said that he would drink in all the moments, oh, and all those memories. Oh, how fast it went past. It leaves me to think that maybe, oh, just maybe, oh, maybe, yeah, yeah. Baby, I blinked. Baby, I blinked. Ireland.
Now, that is just one of so many good songs on this project. And by the way, keep tweeting your questions. They are coming in fast and furious. We're going to take a break just from the questions for now, but we'll get to them in a minute. I can hardly write them down fast enough. But I did want to talk about, give us the great thing about a concert like this, a live concert that people can watch here in the room and all around the world, really. We actually heard somebody was watching from where?
Well, I know we got some buddies from Prestonwood and Dallas watching. We got friends in California watching. We got people in New York. We heard from a lady this morning from Singapore. Julie from Singapore is watching.
Hi, Julie.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Thanks for watching. I have no idea what time it is in Singapore, but it's got to be
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Okay.
It's tomorrow. Thank you. But the cool thing about this is we can kind of peel back a little bit, open the door as to how something like this came about. How do you get a project like this together with the songs? How do you decide what you're going to keep in? How are you going to decide what you're going to take out?
Well, we go through hundreds of songs. I mean, I'm pretty picky about songs, and I want to make sure that it's not just the right message first, but the right song musically. Is it something that I feel like I could sing? Is it something that I can communicate? Does it resonate in my heart? I'll tell you this: if I hear a song and it doesn't move me, then I'm not recording it. I don't care how great it is. And there's certain songs that sometimes it takes me a while, you know. In fact, we'll do one here in just a little bit. It took me a while to really buy into this song, but once I did, I absolutely love it.
Is there any behind-the-scenes arguments or fisticuffs or anything like that?
Well, you know, not fisticuffs.
Come on, Keith.
Adam and I come close every once in a while, but
we pride ourselves in a good debate.
yes,
Song
we
debate.
do. In fact, there's not a song on this record that all three of us agreed on immediately, except the three that we wrote. Of course, you know, when you write it, you're like,
we
hey, I
thought
like that
those
one.
were wonderful.
That's my baby.
That's a good one there. I like
That's a great song. That's a great song right there.
Who wrote that? Well, no wonder it's great. No, you know, but the other ones we really deliberate for quite a while, and over and over and over and over again, I listen to these things and make sure that it's something that I feel like I can deliver. And then we'll have a long list, won't we?
Yeah, well, I think the final list was down to, I don't know. There was at least 75 we got to where we needed to like really sit on, and then it started to weed itself down. But really, this song has 13 songs on it because at first it was a 10 or 11 song record, and there's just some that just needed to be on the project.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we got down to about 20 songs left, and that's when it gets hard for me because I'm like, well, I'd like to do them all.
The only three that you know are going to make it are the ones that you wrote.
Oh,
After
absolutely.
that, it's done. When you're thinking of styles, do you think of, okay, this is a style I haven't done. I want to try this one because I've never done it before?
Well, I like to stretch myself, but, you know, there's, you know, like I don't rap. So, you know, I'm pretty much guarantee you won't hear a rap record from me. But, you know,
You want claps on that.
although it could be fun, you know, but there's certain styles that I just don't go there because I can't. I'm just not that versatile. But
Not in that shirt, but yeah.
well, but you know, I kind of run the gamut between light country, which is what Baby I Blink would probably classify as, all the way to heavy inspo to, you know, adult contemporary, and we try to find some, and that's where the producer comes in, and he's very important, but to have a producer that somehow is able to weave all these sounds together to make it actually feel like a congruent project, you know.
As when I got this CD, we listened to it in the car on the way to school every morning. My kids just put it in. Come on, we want to sing it. We sing it. And one of the songs that they picked up, they couldn't get all the words right away, but they loved it. And
Neither
they sang
could I. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, Give Away Today.
Yeah. Well, I love that title. In fact, that song was not originally entitled "Give Away Today." What was it, Keith? I can't. It was entitled
Better Things to Do.
Better Things to Do was the name of the song when it came to us, written by a couple of friends of Keith's, and And I liked the song okay, but my first thought was, there's no way I could sing this. This is not me. I love it, but it's not me, you know. And the more we started looking at it, the more I wanted to try it. But then there was this line in the song that says, "Give away today," and I just kept feeling like that needs to be the title of this song, because that is a title that just rings with me. Give away today. Plus, by that time, we had already done Another Day in Paradise. We had recorded things like Use Me, which we'll do here in a moment, and several songs that were all about giving of yourself for those who can't help themselves. Humanitarianism and just, you know, giving like Jesus gave. And so when we got a hold of this song, the more I listened to it, the more I figured, you know what, this might be fun to try.
And it is a fun song, a lot of words, a lot of my kids.
Which I don't do very well with, I'm going to be honest with you.
It's a great song. I'd love for you to do it now. And, you know, we'll give some quizzes later to see if everybody picked up all the words. But it is great. The words are really great because it's talking about all the stuff that we think are important. And at the end of the day, they're not.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, what God wants us to do, what we should do in general in our culture, with our families, with anybody we're around, is give of ourselves. Because ultimately, this thing's not about us. It's about the Lord, and it's about others.
Give away today.
Adam's going to play the guitar on this song. All right. Come on over. I'm going to get some water. Yeah, this song here is funny because of all the songs on this project, this is the one I've been most terrified to sing because these fast words always get me. I get real tongue-tied. Now I'm really,
I think you do fine, Charles. You do great.
Setting myself up for failure on it. All right, here we go. Let's do this thing. Come on, let's do this right here. Bird outside my window woke me out of my sleep. I hit the floor running off towards the American dream. I was late for my first meeting. My coffee had no cream. Somebody got my raise in my cubicle space and boxed up all my things. Couldn't figure out what was happening to me. Suddenly I had an epiphany. There are people around me every day. I've got lots of love to give. I'm gonna give it away. Everybody out there, do you need what I've got? I'm gonna give away today like tomorrow won't come. Gonna give away today like tomorrow won't come. Yeah. Instead of catching butterflies or chasing my tail, I'm gonna live my life on purpose and living well. I could climb a corporate ladder or sail across the sea, but I've made up my mind I'm spending my time on who's in front of me. There are people around me every day. I've got lots of love to give. I'm gonna give it away. Anybody out there, do you need what I've got? I'm gonna give away today like tomorrow won't come. Gonna give away today like tomorrow won't come, yeah. Let my neighbors keep up with old Mr. Jones and care about the things that I've outgrown, like my yard and my image and my 401k. I got better things to do, better things to do, better things to do, yeah. There are people around me every day. I've got lots of love to give. I'm gonna give it away. Anybody out there, do you need what I've got? I'm gonna give away today like tomorrow won't come. There are people around me every day. I've got lots of love to give. I'm gonna give it away. Anybody out there, do you need what I've got? I'm gonna give away today like tomorrow won't come. Gonna give away today like tomorrow won't come. Gonna give away today like tomorrow won't come.
You can't sing that without smiling.
No, it's just a feel-good song. Give away today like tomorrow won't come. I like that line.
You know, this project is interesting, but your ministry is interesting because it's not just about you. We're talking about giving away today, and we're going to get to some audience questions in just a minute, but just talk a little bit about not making this all about Charles Billingsley or your ministry, because you're giving away to something special.
Oh, man. You know, here's the deal. May 24th, I will have been doing this for 20 years. And coming this August 26th, I'll be doing my 3,000th concert. We're going to do it here at Thomas Road. We've been in over 1,900 churches. I feel like I've sung every night of my life. And it's at one point along the way, I think I was just singing along one night, and I realized, you know, one day I'm not going to have a voice. One day I'm not going to record any more records. And one day I'm going to realize all of this is just for a season, and not a bit of it was about me to begin with. Now, you go through this process in life where, you know, for the first several years, man, it was all about, you know, my records, my schedule, my concerts, my promotions, my marketing, my this, my that. And that's one reason I stepped away from being on the road full time and went to a church, because I realized one day this has all been about me. And I think a lot of people get to that point. And you go from this, maybe it's just a sign of old age, I don't know, but you kind of go through this process of trying to do things that are successful. And one day you wake up and you want to start doing things that are significant and that make a difference. And, you know, how many concerts can I do until I feel good enough about myself? How many high notes can I sing until I figure out whether I can sing? It's not an issue anymore. I really don't care. It's not about the singing anymore to me. I use that as a medium to get across a message that I feel like God's burned in my heart. And it took me a long time to get there. But now that I'm there, I'm more passionate about going out and singing now than I ever was. But there's a different motivator behind that, and it gives you a whole different kind of energy. It's an energy that burns from deep within, not just from some false pretense about who I am supposed to be in the public eye.
That's going to lead me right into some of these questions, and we're going to talk a little bit about missions in just a minute. But first, this question, you know, you talk about how long you've been singing, how long you've been on the road, how many concerts. This is from Robert, let me see if I can read my writing, Robert Foote. Do you still stay in contact with the guys from your days in New Song?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we still talk all the time. Russ Lee and Eddie Carswell and Billy Goodwin, all those guys. And no, it's funny because, you know, now they're raising up the next generation. Billy Goodwin, for example, has a son named Matt. Matt was Cooper's age when he was on the road with us in New Song. Well, then Matt grew up, got married to a girl named Francesca Battistelli, and now she's like, yeah, she just sells a few records. And, you know, so it's like this whole, it's just amazing how generation comes after each other. But we keep in touch with each other all the time.
Well, Wilbanks offered to bring his bagpipes for tonight.
Scotty
for the
Wilbanks.
record,
He's now in third day. He was with us in New Song. Whew. Boy, I tell you, that guy's crazy. He's a trip. He's funny as all get out.
Robita06 says, how did you know when God wanted to be who you are now? How did you know what God wanted you to be?
I don't know. I guess I was called to ministry when I was in 7th grade, and I was in a youth conference in somewhere up in like Richmond, Washington, way up there, up near where you are from, Matt. And I was in a little youth conference there, and it was in 7th grade, and I knew God was calling me to some sort of ministry, but I didn't know I could sing until I was a sophomore in high school, and even that was kind of a dare, a joke. One of my buddies dared me to sing a song for our Sunday school class, and I did it as a joke with my football buddies. I got up there and it actually went pretty well, and so
it doesn't really surprise me.
It was a bit of an accident, but then through college I really always felt like I was called to preach and called to ministry somehow, but I wasn't getting any opportunities to go preach. They all wanted me to come sing, and So when I graduated from college, I just stepped right into it. In fact, I graduated May 23rd of 1992 and went on the road May 24th of 1992. Wow. So we had 12 hours off.
And that's about the only time we've had all since.
Since then, yeah.
Debbie Powell, RN, if you could do a duet with a Christian artist, any Christian artist, who would it be?
Whew. I'm kind of old school. I'd probably pick CeCe Winans. Girl can sing. And I'm a big fan of hers. I think she's a wonderful, just a woman of God. And man, can she sing.
I know.
I'd probably pick her first.
Cool. Now, has your son Cooper ever given you any song ideas?
Oh, yeah. He wrote a song the other day. And, I got lots of song ideas from Cooper. I got them. I still have to write them. But, and some of them you'll never hear. But, yeah, I got lots of song ideas.
Okay. This is a great one from Pammy Swebb. She says, what advice do you have for a college music major who wants to establish a music ministry? Which is kind of cool because here we are in Lynchburg where you kind of help people do that.
Well, this is kind of like any other career starting out where a lot of it is built off of just word of mouth. I mean, my whole career is built off of word of mouth. I'm not a big marketing person. You wouldn't guess it by tonight, but this is the most marketing we've ever done on a project before. I usually tell everybody I'm with Stealth Records. Yeah, we've been under the radar for 20 years. But you know what though? The word of mouth thing is the most powerful mouthpiece, and we let other people do the talking, and through the process of just pastors and worship leaders and gatekeepers, I would call them, calling us to do events, then we go and then we get more opportunities from doing those events. That's how I built my ministry. Now, in this day and age, what's great is you don't have to have a record deal with the internet, with iTunes, with Amazon.com. My record is as available as any other record in the world because of those mediums. And that's changed everything. Now, a guy like Justin Kinsel or me or Adam or Keith, we can put out a project and it's available worldwide tomorrow, today, right now. And anybody can get a hold of that thing. So then it's just a matter of the social media and the word of mouth and getting around there. And you'd be surprised how many millions of records are being sold across the world because every artist has got a pocket of people that really like what they do. And so the first thing you got to do is just jump out and start. If you keep just talking about it, you'll never accomplish it. You just got to go to the edge and jump. Yeah. And just do it. You'd be surprised how many people like what you do.
One of the things you're talking about word of mouth, and a lot of what you've done is word of mouth, but one of the things that you do also is when you go, you just don't talk about yourself. You talk about other ministries, other missions, and one of them especially is Cause Life.
Well, yeah, I mean, this has been a groundbreaking year for me because, again, it took me a long time to figure this out, but I finally figured it out. It's not about me. It's not about my singing. It's not even about our songs, although we prefer good ones versus bad ones. It's about using this as a medium to communicate something far greater. And so the far greater part is obviously the gospel of the Lord. Right. But secondly, it's the gospel of the Lord with action. And when we say we love God, what does that really mean? When we say we love others, what does it mean? So I wanted to connect myself with people and a ministry that is doing this firsthand with people all around the world. And so I connected with World Help. They're a local ministry here in Lynchburg, but they're worldwide.
You went on a trip to Guatemala, and by the way, if you're online right now on charlesbillingsley.org, you can go right below where you're watching this, and right afterwards you can click the link to Cause Light. You can see all the different pictures. You can see what you did there while you were in Guatemala. But tell us just real quickly how it kind of started that you were going to partner with them.
Well, World Help and Cause Life are everywhere. They're not just in Guatemala, but Guatemala is where we chose to go with Vernon Brewer and my buddy Kevin Foster and Scott Wolf. They're all here tonight. And as we went down there, we had put together some funds, me and them and a lot of our friends pulled together some funds, and we chose to build a water well a deep bore water well in Guatemala. And that's what Cause Life is about, building water wells all over the world. It's amazing to me that America, the United States alone, last year spent $17 billion in bottled water. And it would only take $30 billion to provide clean water for the entire world. And yet in America, we spent over half of that just, drinking water after working out or whatever. And then I was appalled to find out that 6,000 kids die every day simply because they don't have clean water to drink. And this is such an easy problem to fix, but in some nations like Guatemala, where over 50% of the country makes less than $2 a day, they don't know these things. It's out of ignorance and also simply because they don't have the resources to provide clean water. So what we've done is we've just partnered with Cause Life. We're trying to build as many water wells as we can around the world. We got down there to Guatemala this last year, and as we were going around, we were visiting 3 water wells that we had helped fund to place along with the youth group at Thomas Road and some other friends of ours. We got back to that camp that night, and we were all giving testimony, and I don't even know what possessed me to say this, but in front of everybody, I said, you know what? I think that instead of just putting a water well, we ought to build an entire village. and I didn't know what I was saying at the time, but I thought, in my mind, I was thinking, wow, the water well draws the people. The people come. They got no place to live, no place to worship, no place to go to school, no place to play with their kids in the playground. And so we just got to thinking, man, wouldn't this be an awesome thing to actually be able to develop an entire village where we can provide homes for a lot of the people that we had just visited that are homeless. They live in, see this scrim right here? In Guatemala, you see this everywhere, except it's a black trash bag held up with sticks, and there's sometimes 10, 12, 15 people living inside this little thing. And I was so broken by this that I thought, man, we got to do something about this. And so we're aggressively trying to build as many water wells as we can, not only there, but Africa and all over the world. But we decided that for my ministry, I want to connect with Cause Life and those water wells, and at the same time, let's try to actually put together a village. So we have this new website, causelifevillage.org. You can click on that link on my website, and you can go, and you can actually contribute to it. It's costing us about $160,000 to put this village up, and we've already raised $81,000. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And Charles won't tell you this, but I can tell you this. Many ministries contact him and say, hey, would you promote us? Would you get, because they know he's everywhere, right? And they'll say, hey, we'll pay you to do it. We'll give you, hey, come on. And they'll really push him to do it. He's doing this because he feels the Lord wanted him to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I contacted World Help and Vernon, and I said, look, will you help me with this project? And he said, absolutely. So we put a little flyer inside every J card of the record, and we're doing things like this and selling little bracelets and all this stuff. But one thing I don't want is I don't want to go in a concert and get paid to do this, because then it takes the question in my mind becomes it's an issue of motive. And I know a lot of people do that, and that's fine. It's their way of marketing their ministry. But I personally feel like I can't stand on a stage, promote a ministry, knowing that I'm getting a check behind closed doors for doing it. I want to do it knowing that, without a doubt, I'm doing this because I love that ministry. Amen. And that's the only thing I care about.
And that really leads us into this next song, which I'm going to kind of back out of here. Tell us a little about this next song, Use Me, and how that kind of fits with this.
Well, this song is it's just really a wake-up call to every believer that God can use every one of us. I mean, you may not sing, you may not have a ministry like Vernon and World Help, you may not feel like you have any talents whatsoever, but I promise you, you do, number one, and I also promise you this, God has a plan and a purpose for your life. And He wants to use you. That's not the issue. The issue becomes on whether or not you're making yourself available for Him to use. And so when we first heard this song, it was written by Jenny Riddle, the same girl that wrote Revelation song. I heard it, and this was that song we deliberated over for months. Keith immediately said, you need to record this song. And I said, I don't know if it's really me or not, because there's a few poignant lines in this song. There's one line that says, until I bleed is one of the lines, and I thought, I don't know if I... But the more I got into this song, the more I realized, you know what? This is the call of the gospel. This is God's desire for every believer, and I need to communicate this message. So this is, use me. The earth is tired and desperate for help. The need is great. I hear voices calling out. But God, we don't know what to do. All we know is to cry out to you. Your love is greater and big enough to bring all of the healing our world needs. Our heart is breaking from all the suffering, though it may cost me till I bleed. Oh, use me, yeah. Use me. Heal calloused eyes that forget how to see. Lord, wake us up from this apathy. We repent of our selfishness, and we rise to hope again. Your love is greater and big enough to bring all of the healing our world needs. Our heart is breaking from all the suffering, and though it may cost me till I bleed. Oh, this world is not my home. I know where I come from. Oh, Father, hear the call of children crying. Oh, come fill us in this hour. We need your holy power. Oh, Father, hear the call of children crying out. Yes, just use me. Just use me. My life is yours to spend. Lord, I'm ready to begin. Just use me. Just use me. Yes. Oh, my life is yours to spend. Lord, I'm ready to begin. Oh, your love is greater and big enough to bring all of the healing our world needs. Our heart is breaking from all the suffering, and though it may cost me till use me. Oh, yes, use me. Use me. Just use me. Oh, use me. The line I struggled with on that song was that though it may cost me till I bleed. And the reason I struggled with that was not because I didn't like it, it's because I didn't know if I could sing it truthfully. You know, sometimes we sing songs, I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice. The question is, do we really love him? I wonder if he hears our praises sometimes, and from glory, he sits there and he hears us sing and he says, really? Because you didn't seem to act like that an hour ago. And that's where, as a performer, as a vocalist, I'll sing a line like, Lord, I want to be used by you, and let it cost me so much that it causes me to bleed. One of my friends from this church, Don Brooks, texted me at about 11:45 one night. He was listening to that song. And he said to me, my life is yours to spend. Lord, I'm ready to begin. And then he asked me, are you really? And it broke me. I went to bed and I laid there and I said to my wife, I said, man, at first I was kind of like, why would he text that to me? And then I laid in bed for an hour and a half thinking about it, and I came to the conclusion, I'm not sure I am. Bottom line is, folks, if you want God to use you, he will, but you better be ready. Because he will put you in positions and situations and circumstances in which you are not comfortable. But through the process, he can grow us, and he can break us, and he can mold us. And he uses moments like he used in Guatemala for me to do that. When we were in Guatemala, you know, I was telling you, we went to these different water wells, and we were visiting where we had put water wells, and it was great. You know, in fact, we turned one of them on, and one of the kids started spraying water all over me, and we got in a big water fight, and it was a blast because it was like, man, how cool is this? These people never even seen fresh water, and here we are playing in it with all these kids, and it was awesome. But man, it wasn't an hour later that the joy turned into absolute frustration for me, because we got down the road. It wasn't far. And got to this place. I don't even know the name of it. What's the name of it, Kevin? The feeding place where we feed people? Where? The landfill. That's what they call it. I didn't know if there was a special name, but they call it the landfill. The reason they call it the landfill is because it's a landfill. I mean, there's nothing. It's nothing but a trash heap, and it's burning. And you know, you can see the smoke rising from it, and there's just nothing but trash. And there's a dirt road that sits beside the landfill. And right next to the landfill and the dirt road is this little shelter. And we pulled up to this shelter, and all you could see was hundreds. I mean, some days it's thousands. So some days you can't see the end of of the line that goes down around the corner that's probably over a half mile long. You can't see the end of the line. People just lined up, all women and little children, waiting to be fed that day. Because if they don't get that meal, the only meal available to them is right across that dirt road in the trash heap. So we walked across the dirt road, and I'm standing here, and I was with one of our hosts, Carlos, and I said, "What is that man doing down there in the bottom of this trash heap?" So he went down and asked him, and the man's answer was, "I'm gathering food for my 6 children." And it was nothing but rotten banana peels and empty, cartons of milk and canned fruit that was, mostly eaten, and it was junk. So I'm watching all this happen, and then I go back across the road, and we start to feed this humongous line of children. And I was just feeling so overwhelmed and so broken over this. And we got in line, and I started to feed spaghetti, and it was just big, humongous tubs of spaghetti that we were feeding. I mean, a trough from here to there, just full of spaghetti. And all the little kids and all the women had just a little cup or something, not that we had given them. They had just found a little cup in the trash heap, and that's what they would use to gather their food. And we started dipping, spaghetti for all these little kids and giving them a little piece of bread. And by the way, they do this Monday through Friday, every week of every year. And we'd been doing this a while, and this one little lady suddenly appeared in front of me. She was shorter than me, sitting on this stool. She had more lines on her face than could possibly be counted. She looked like she was 100 years old, but she's probably in her 60s. And Carlos, who was next to me, leaned over to me and he said, "Give her a little extra." Well, a little extra she didn't have but a bowl but this big. So I just started, of course, gladly, I just started packing spaghetti in there. Once I thought it was full, I packed some more in there. And then I just took a huge handful of bread and I plopped it on top of her, and she's just standing there. And when she walked off, I looked at Carlos and I said, "Can I ask you why I was supposed to give her extra? I mean, it's not like it's a problem. I just wanted to know." And he said, "Well, because that's Miss Garcia. She's been coming here a long time. And she's taken that home to feed her 12 kids." Whew. It was at that moment that I just, I had to walk away. I was like, man, I don't think I can do this anymore. I got on that plane to Atlanta and got to the airport, and I went to Qdoba, which is one of my favorite places. And I ordered this big old plate of food, and I sat down to eat it. I couldn't eat a bite. I just stared at it. And I thought, oh, God, I got to be able to do something more. And so he's broken me, And I came back home, and I told the guys, I said, look, I was reading John 3:16, and the Bible says, "For God so loved the world." And I'll be honest with you, I've glossed over that world for years, that word world. And for some reason, when I got home from Guatemala, when I read that word world, it took on a whole new meaning to me. And I realized all over again, this word world is not just the people that sit in the pews on Sunday morning that agree with my politics. This is not just the people that live in my neighborhood who have the same socio-economical status that I do. The world is the world, which means people that you like and people that you don't like. It means people that agree with you and people that don't agree with you. It means rich people and it means poor people. And it means everything in between. So I guess if there was a song on this project that is absolutely the catalyst piece of this whole deal, it's this one. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish. Every preacher in the pulpit, every cynic on the street, every poet, every pauper, every traitor, every thief, every soldier, every lawyer, every TV talk show star, anybody teaching students, anybody tending bar. God so loved the world. God so loved the world. Yeah. Every judge and every jailer, every master, every slave, every rebel, every skeptic, every addict in their chains, all the powerful and pretty, all the faithful and the fools, those bowing down to idols, those seeking to find truth. God so loved the world. God so loved the world. Every daughter, every son, all of us, the fallen ones. God so loved the world. Yeah. So here's the message right here. So let us love anyone that he loves. Let us love. Oh, let us love. So let us love anyone that he loves. Let us love. Oh, let us love every preacher in the pulpit, every cynic on the street. Even you and me. God so loved the world. God so loved the world. Every daughter, every son, all of us, the fallen ones. God so loved the world. God so loved the world. Every daughter, every son, all of us, the fallen ones. God so loved the world. Ooh, yes. So let us love anyone that he loves. Let us love. Let us love. Let us love anyone that he loves. Let us love. Let us love. So, well, sorry to get a little emotional on you there. I just, many of you have been to other countries. Many of you have seen the kinds of things I'm talking about, and for me, all I can say is that I waited way too long. I should have done this a long time ago, just to let my eyes be opened to what's going on around the world. But now that they have been, I'm pretty passionate about making up for lost time. So if you want to help us build a village, build a well, do whatever you want to do. There's lots of ministries out there, but I found a pretty good one in Cause Life and World Help, and we're honored to be able to do what we can to help. And, sometimes people will say, well, you're just one person. What can you do? I'll tell you what I can do. I can do everything I can do. That's all I can do, but it's everything I can do. And I know if all of us will do that, when we get to glory, I believe that's when Jesus will look in our eyes and say, well done. You did all that you could do. And I just want to thank you folks for being here. I want to thank you folks for watching online and for supporting my ministry for so long. I've got some people watching tonight that have been following us for 20 years. And it's just an honor to be able to do this. And one thing we wanted to do as we were making this project was I wanted to do 3 things. I wanted to write that song to my boys. I wanted to accomplish a record that was about giving back, humanitarianism. And then I wanted to do at least one song that in my 20th year is just a thank you to the people who along the way have supported me. Everything from my parents to the people who helped pay for my first project down in Birmingham, Alabama. My first project we put $5,000 into, and it's really bad. You do not want to hear it, and you won't hear it. We have retired it forever. But but as we progressed, you grow as a musician, you grow as a Christian, and you grow as a songwriter, and it's been a real privilege to do this with you guys. Thank you, Keith, and thank you, Adam. And we're just at the very front end of this thing, so we're looking forward to what happens. And I would ask you guys to pray for this project. There's a lot of songs on here that encourage people, songs like Never Forsaken, and then songs like this one that is what I want to close with tonight. It's the old classic, written by Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. When times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'm on your when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled Sail on, silver girl. Sail on by. Your time has come to shine, and all your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. If you need a friend, oh yeah, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. I'll ease your mind. So when you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. God bless you guys. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you
Wow.
very much.
This has been a special night. This has been great. Thank you, Charles, so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
that with
Thank
us.
you for coming. Thank you for watching.
Something we forgot to forget was the Liberty Alumni Association. This has been on their Facebook page.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you to Liberty. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just the biggest Liberty fan there is in the world, and I tell every mom and every dad, there's only one place. In fact, I tell them, send them anywhere. Go ahead, send them to visit anywhere. Go ahead, because then when they come to Liberty, they're not going anywhere else, and it's the truth.
There you go.
It's the greatest
That's right.
university in the world.
I believe it.
And so, thank you, LU alumni, for helping us out tonight.
Now, if you're watching this right now, we're just about ready to end, but you can still get all of these songs and many more. And I just want to say that on iTunes, Amazon.com, you can shop at Charles Billingsley online. Plenty of other stuff there that you can get if you want around Never Forsaken. And, of course, follow him on Facebook and Twitter and get tons more Cooper questions. And I do need it. We have one more question. Let me make sure. We'll wrap it up with this. Robert John says you spent a lot of time in Florida in your life.
Oh, yeah. I know
Here's
Robert
his question.
Yeah.
Florida or Florida State?
Oh, well, you know, let me clarify this.
I put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yes, I did. And if I answer that, I'm going to offend somebody.
All right.
But Tim Tebow is from First Baptist Jacksonville, and I'm a big Tebow fan, and he was a Gator. So I'd probably have to lean there, although I went to college with Jimbo Fisher, who's the head coach of Florida State.
There you go.
So I'd have to say I'm a Gator Knoll.
You're a politician.
But here's the deal. Wow. I'm also a politician. But you know, when you're talking about growing up in high school in Florida, the day came when God led me to college in Alabama. And that's where I had to declare my allegiance to the Crimson Tide, because my wife is from there. And her uncle, who was the head of all the law enforcement in Alabama, walked the sidelines with Bear Bryant for like 17 years. And so it's a big deal in that family. But, you know, so if I had to choose down there, it'd be that. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to come a day when the LU Flames beat them all.
There you go. That's what I wanted to hear. We've been thinking a lot, but you probably want to thank your family, too.
I do. In fact, my wife and little boy are right over here. Good job, bro. Congrats on the win. Way to go. 27 to 23. Woo. So Stand up. That's Shay and Caleb right there. And then this is my little boy on the front,
Here's
Mr. Cooper hanging out with Vernon and Justin.
All right. All right. Well, thank you again for being here tonight. It has been a very special night. Thank you for watching. And we'll probably have this up online for people to see if they didn't get all of it, if they had to watch a little bit, watch some kids or do something else. We'll have this up online for you a little bit later. But again, thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.